Good day, America, and this is Solutions for Life, and I'm Dr. Gerald Coy. This program is brought to you by the Share Foundation, a public nonprofit charitable organization offering alternative healthcare education to those that are interested in being healthier. And today we're going to talk about a big topic, and that is your health is your responsibility. And our guest today is Heidi Diaz, wellness consultant. Welcome. We're so glad you're here again.
It is awesome to be back. Thank you for extending the invite.
And like I said, again, because Heidi has been with me before, we've talked about issues, and she has great information to share with other people. When someone says health is your responsibility, do you really feel that when you go to doctors?
No. I used to think that it was the doctor's responsibility to keep me healthy.
Yes.
And many of us think that way. But now I realize that it's our responsibility, no one else's.
And, when people think that the doctor's going to help them be healthier, or the insurance company's going to pay for it, and the government's going to make sure everybody's doing what they need to do and is going to protect me, and in reality, you have to watch out for yourself, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I know I have experience in some situations in the hospital, and so many times that there are so many errors that are made that if you don't have somebody watching your back, it could be fatal.
Definitely.
And that's something that we're very, very concerned about. But before we get into some of the challenges that we have in life and everything else, I want to talk about, what does it take to keep healthy? What are the things that you are involved with that kind of like stay healthy?
To stay healthy, well, as a matter of fact, today I just started with my new personal trainer.
Ooh.
So exercise, plays a huge role. And of course, nutrition. I know there's tons of delicious food out there, but it's not always the healthiest and the best for us. So we just have to make better choices.
Oh, better choices. There's a famous medical doctor. I'm not critical of all medical doctors, just a few, a lot of few. But Dr. Oz, you know what Dr. Oz says about choices? Have you heard? Maybe you've heard him.
Yes.
He says that 80% of chronic conditions are due to the choices we make. Wow.
That's true. I believe it.
And we keep looking for cures out of this potions and pills. We keep looking for someone else to cure us of this, that, or the other. When 80% of our chronic health conditions are due to the choices we make.
Definitely.
Isn't that's putting a lot on your plate at one time. But that's what we're talking about today, is the fact that health is your responsibility and the choices you make. Here you are. You've got a personal trainer. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited.
How's the body feeling?
A little sore. Haven't worked out in a while, but definitely, it's not just enough with making the right choices when it comes to the nutrition, but it's also getting that workout. And I was, definitely a lot better with my intake of certain foods, but I just needed that physical activity, and just riding bikes and going that daily walk is not enough.
A lot of people don't realize, they think that health is something you lose. And instead of something that, it was God-given birthright, you're born to be healthy. You've just got to kind of take care of yourself. It's what we do against ourselves instead of for ourselves.
Yes.
And you're talking about eating properly, because the basic principles of health are, let's go with the more abstract ones: environmental conditions and the world around us. Are we living in a jungle with mosquitoes and malaria all around us, or do we live in Los Angeles, which is probably maybe worse? But
I agree.
What kind of environment do we place ourselves in? Are we one that we're in a smog-filled environment, or are we out in fresh air? Or do we live in Alaska where you can freeze your posterior off? Is it like Miami, hot and sultry
Humid.
and humid and everything else? So there's all sorts of different kinds of environments, but it plays an important role in our health.
Yes, definitely.
And of course, the one thing we have no control over, and that's our genetics. How's your genes?
My genes are great, I think.
Okay. Well, I have great luck. I have half luck. You see, my father died at a very young age, and on that side of the family, I don't think the genes are too strong. But I have a mother who's 92 and still going strong. Her mother was 96. Her mother was 90. So it's kind of like I'm saying, hey, I like those genes
Yes,
more.
yes, definitely. I'm blessed. I'm blessed because from both sides of the family, um, got to meet the grandparents, the great grandparents.
Oh, is that
It's awesome.
when I was 13 years old, I knew of because she lived a long ways away, my great great grandmother.
Wow.
And that's a neat feeling of it. You have this lineage because I know, family is very important to most people. My family is relatively small. I don't know how, is yours a large family or?
Yes, very large. Immediate family small, but I mean, I'm Colombian. As a Latina, uh, everything revolves around the family.
Well,
We're
everything's
very
fine.
close.
I remember when my grandmother was, I think, celebrating her 80th birthday. I had a reunion picnic, and my grandmother had three daughters. One son who had been hurt in an accident and died young, but she had three daughters, and my mother was the oldest. And when we had the picture, there was this huge group of 40, 50 people, whatever it was, that was having this reunion picture taken. But when we separated it by daughters, there was my mother, my sister, myself, and my nephew. One of wasn't able to arrive. That was the family. Then there was my other aunt who had her husband and her daughter. She had two sons, and there was, I think, one child with them, a small group. All the rest of them was my one other aunt who
Wow.
was a little bit more prolific. She had two husbands and two sets of families and grandkids and great grandkids.
Wow.
But no, it's wonderful to have a family, and it's so important to protect that family.
Yes, very.
And our genes play such an important role, and yet people don't realize you can damage your genes. And it's not so much your genes, but many times the genes that you pass on.
Yes.
They don't realize that by taking many of the drugs that are out there, that you are altering and damaging genes that may be passed on to a newborn baby. I'm come from an older generation that you may or may not have heard about thalidomide. Did you ever hear about the thalidomide babies?
No. I'm
Well,
sorry.
This was back before you were born, probably. But there was this drug, and I believe it was for depression or something psychotropic type of drug that was used for treating women, and it altered the genetics so much that children were born without arms, without legs.
That's horrible.
And that was simply because of the drugs that were being given to these women. And yet that is the same drug industry that we deal with today.
Yeah.
They don't really apologize for it. The only times they apologize is when they have to pay out in lawsuits. But there are so many things out there that can hurt people and damage your genes. So, folks, if you're taking drugs and you're planning on having children, you might reconsider your taking, because even aspirin can affect the genes and your babies. So, but we were talking about that. But what is the other thing that you're changing? And that's your lifestyle.
Yes, my
You're getting
lifestyle.
more active. You're being more active. Did you ever smoke?
Never.
Never?
That's one thing I just never did, never even out of curiosity. And it really still surprises me to see how we know what the end result is going to be. And I don't know if you ever went to the human body exhibit.
Oh, the science exhibit.
Yes.
Science. Oh.
It was awesome. I took my daughter, and when we got to the area of the respiratory system,
Those lungs, those black.
my daughter is like, I would never think of smoking anything. Mommy, did you see how black those lungs are?
Exactly.
And to know that that's the end result, and people still continue to, by choice, damage.
I believe 41 million Americans still smoke. Hey, folks, let's rant and rave a little bit here on Rant Radio, because if you're smoking, you better hang up, because I'm going to tell you, quit smoking, if you want to be healthy, that is. If you don't want to live long, keep smoking, but please don't send me your bills for medical costs. And that's what it happens a lot.
Yes.
People who are smoking think, oh, well, the government's charging me $1 or whatever in taxes on my cigarettes. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they can charge you $20 on your cigarettes, because that's a foolish to do.
Yes.
But not only smoking, which again, there's 41 million Americans who still
Out
smoke.
there.
It's crazy. Asian population that's coming into the United States now, so many smoke, and it's really a shame. But there's also the aspect of drugs. Now, most of the time when you talk about drugs, you think about you're talking about Guido on the corner or something like this. Hey, what you got?
All that illegal stuff.
All that
yeah.
illegal stuff. And in reality, there is more problems happening with people because of the drugs in the medicine chest. The drugs that are been prescribed for your grandmother or your aunt or your uncle that young people are stealing, taking out of the bottles and using to get their thrill or to get their high. Has anything kind of experienced, like, have you experienced that in your family?
As a matter of fact, just recently I was told of a very close case to us, and it's very sad because when it gets to that point of getting out of control,
Yes.
it's just so hard, and to see, the mother in this case, how stressful times, the stressful times she's living right now because she feels powerless, it's like the child is not listening, and not really a child, her child, regardless of age, they're always going to be our babies. And to know that he doesn't care about the pain he's putting her through, not just her, but the example he's
Doesn't
giving
care
his
the
little
damage
sister.
he's doing to himself.
And it's just horrible. And when the surroundings and the people that you constantly hang out on a daily basis, are on the same, note, it's just, what do you do?
It's devastating to people, and it's a shame. And yet this, not only damages the family, damages the body, but all for a high, for a thrill, for something to escape. And I do hope in time that the world will wake up more to the challenges and be able to find better outlets than looking for drugs. The next thing that's part of the basics of health is we're going to talk about is exercise, and we're going to talk about your trainer. And when we come back from our commercial, we'll be right back.
Thank you.
The Share Foundation is the health division of the Coy Chiropractic Institute, a 501c3 509A2 public nonprofit organization dedicated to the growth and development of the natural health care services, in particular through the chiropractic profession, offering health services at the Share clinics in the greater Los Angeles area. Your donations can help in expanding these facilities across the nation, research programs, and public education, thus offering a solution to the many of the health challenges we face. Your donations are tax deductible and can be sent through our website at www.sharefoundation.com. That's www.cherfoundation.com by clicking on the donation button. Thank you.
Do we have your attention? When it comes to tequila, two things matter: heart and passion. Never compromising integrity for mass production. Number one Tequila delivers the goods. Taste the heart and passion of Mexico in every bottle. We make it right. We make it fun. Superior Tequila. There's only number one. There's only number one. There's only number one.
Been in an accident? Then you need your vehicle professionally repaired. That's exactly what you get when you bring your vehicle to Greg's Auto Body Repair. 3 quotes within minutes. We will provide everything you need for a hassle-free auto body repair, from an accurate estimate to working with your insurance company. We will get your vehicle to its pre-accident condition as soon as possible. Greg's Auto Body has been serving Los Angeles County and local cities since 1970. Call us at 562-789-1300.
1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 1300. 1 800 848 A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home. At AJR and Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR and Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.hrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español.
And we're back with Solutions for Life. Our guest today is Heidi Diaz, wellness consultant, and we're ranting and raving about people not being responsible for themselves. And
That's right.
we were talking about, and you had shared some personal information in your family about someone who has a drug problem, and that's unfortunate. And we, it's kind of like for our listeners, because during the break we were talking about that, and so we kind of want to finish up before we go to your exercising, is the fact that I know this story rings true with a lot of other people, and you don't know what to do. And I'm not a drug counselor. I don't know what to tell you listeners out there, but I do know there is help out there, but you have to look for it. You have to ask around. There's counseling there. I know there's groups such as, I think Al-Anon is for the alcoholic family of alcoholics. I believe there's something also there for drug addiction and everything else. So you know how to deal with your loved one. Do you get upset? Do you throw them out? Do you overly love them? Or what? How do you handle it? But for all you out there listening, please, there are solutions for this. You just need to be asking questions.
And, if I can just say, as for parents, just be aware, because you just mentioned something that's just happening more and more nowadays. And it's the danger is no longer those illegal drugs, but those prescription medications and even the over-the-counter ones that we don't give much importance to. That's what's,
That's
ruining our youth nowadays.
Now, if that wasn't in
because
your...
it's a cheap way.
Yeah.
It's a cheap drug. They're obtaining it and they're getting that, high. And, bad things are happening.
And it's cool because my friend says it's cool. I was looking at some kids that were, as you stop at a stoplight and everything else in school lets out, and you look at all these kids. And I said, oh, thank God I'm not there. But the pressure that's on
How
them.
times have changed.
How times have changed. Because I look out in the field and I see some youths that are running around the track, and I see some youths that are playing in the band. And it struck me, how influential are your kids' friends? Be so very, very careful.
Very.
Because I'm sure the person who's in the band probably has a friend who was in the band.
In the
That's why
band,
they got
yes,
involved with it.
yes.
Someone who's playing football is because they had a friend who played football. Or someone who's running around the track is because they had a
So
friend.
true.
And if they're on drugs, where do you think they got the idea? Folks,
Exactly.
Screen the friends. They are the most important element in your kids growing up. So now we're talking about exercises, and you're still a little bit sore from having that personal trainer.
Yes, very sore, but it's a good kind of sore because, like I said, I had not been active in a while, other than just riding my bike, and walking a few times a week. But it's a good kind of sore. I'm happy. I'm excited because that's just going to push me to want to take care of myself that much more. I'm going to think twice before I opt for a meal that's not the best choice, because I don't want to, throw my workout to waste.
But I appreciate people wanting to be in good, quote, shape. I just want to also say, maybe it's because of my own shape, I don't know, but you don't have to look like Twiggy.
No.
Or whoever, I'm sorry, I take that back because Twiggy was from 40 years ago. But you don't have to be like the thin models.
But there's plenty of Twiggies nowadays,
Yes.
too.
But people don't know who Twiggy
Yeah.
was.
Oh, okay.
I think she's an old
I know
lady
who
now.
she is.
You know? Okay, great. I'm glad there. But we have this tendency of wanting to be like the models. And I'm sorry. Genetics may have endowed you with more in the front, more in the back, more on the sides, or whatever it is. That your
play a
body
big role.
It is, and your body shape is never going to fit that model shape. And I was watching where they do a lot of photoshopping.
Oh, I saw that
Did you?
too.
You saw that too? Where they making the eyes bigger. I mean, this was not a model.
Raising the eyebrow.
Oh.
And yes.
And you will never. No one is. That model doesn't fit that
Elongating
picture.
the legs. That was just ridiculous. That
Yeah,
was not. That was not a real person.
Yeah, I know it. But that is the picture that our youth are seeing. So you know, folks, you know, with your kids and everything else, you need to make sure they're seeing a true picture. That, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and beauty is who you believe yourself to be. It is not what somebody else necessarily says
That's
about
right.
you.
That's right.
But exercise is important, and it's good for cardiovascular. And the reason I mention that is because some people get into the extremes, and what's most important is that your heart rate and the nutrition of your body and the movement of your body and the stretching of the body. That if you are 10 pounds overweight, you know, it's not a crisis. You are who you are, and maybe that extra poundage is part of your genetic makeup too. I don't believe in people starving themselves. I don't believe in everybody being a size 0 or 1 or whatever these sizes are. It's not healthy. You know, life also has to be enjoyed. So I'm proud of you for going out there and exercising.
Yes, because there has to be a perfect balance, because being too sedentary clearly is not good either, you know. And I felt like I was just so active, actively working and being the mom and doing so many things, but not the kind of
how much time
activity.
How much time in the car? How much time on the computer? How much time?
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly. And that's so true of a lot of people. I know, but there's also a difference in bodies. I know with me, you talked about a trainer, and I said, you know, I would love to have a trainer who really knew how to work with older bodies, because as I've mentioned, you know, your body, no matter what you look like, is still that age.
Yes.
I'm 70. My body is 70. My joints is 70. I'd like to think that I look like I'm 50, but in reality, this body is
You look
70.
50, Dr.
Thank
Fry.
you. Oh, that's very, very good. I had to feed you out for that compliment. But anyway, you know, the thing is my joints are stiffer and as I age, and they need to be stretched and they need to be exercised. That I recommend for anybody that's over 50, 60, get some good stretching exercises, whether it be Tai Chi, whether it be yoga. But I would love to have a trainer that recognized that and would work with my body in the condition it is, as bad as it may be, and help it to be healthier and stretch and be more elastic.
Aquatic aerobics, I hear, are awesome as well.
That's my sister.
Yeah.
She's almost 75, so she's working. She loves to work in the water. Then after exercise is a sense of rest. A lot of people don't realize how important rest is.
Very important.
We know for our kids, don't we? We tell our kids, you know, you got to be to bed by such and such
Yes.
a time, because you know how important. And then we'll work until 2:00 in the morning. That doesn't make much sense,
Yes.
does it?
To so many of us, and it's so important. I happen to just be so lucky because I have a sister who's a massage therapist. So you know I'm going to get a massage tonight.
And you're going to work out those
To
that
alleviate
soreness.
that soreness.
And be ready to go to bed.
Yes.
And make sure you're drinking lots and lots of water.
Lots of water.
Because that gets us into one of the most important areas, and that is nutrition. And if you exercise, and if you have your massage and everything else, that stirring up the body, that getting the flow of the blood and everything else, you need more fluid in there to hydrate the body.
Yes.
To help filter out some of the toxins that build up because of exercise. That people don't realize that when you work your muscles, you're throwing off uric acid and everything else. That needs to be filtered out of the body.
Exactly.
And water is something that's so very, very essential
Key.
for
It's
them.
it's a key.
Yeah,
point.
but I know with nutrition, you know, we talked about making sure you eat the right things, but sometimes the right thing is hard. What do you do about children? What about you do about a spouse that says, I don't want that, eat that green stuff?
You know what? It's so, whoever says that they intake the daily dosage of or portion of fruit and vegetables is lying. That it's not realistic, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, in those cases, that's why, I mean, yes, going back to making the right choices, you know, make good choices. However, natural supplements play a huge role. I know I give my daughter a supplement that helps with, you know, what's the word? it replaces, or
Well, it's you're helping to balance.
it to balance it out. Yes,
balancing
yes,
their
yes,
nutrition.
yes, because I know she's not going to have that fruit intake that she's supposed to for the day and vegetables. So I give her the supplement that's going to balance that out.
Well, it's and this is of course something we talk about with young people and everything else, trying to get them to say, "Mommy, could I have an apple? Could I have a banana? Could I have an orange?" Instead of, "Can I have a Twinkie? Can I have some French fries? Can I have some?"
Exactly.
They do not eat as well as they should be.
But it's also important. What helps me in my case with Valeria is I take her to the grocery store with me, and it's like, okay, pick out the fruit that I know you're going to eat and enjoy. So every morning when we're getting ready to pack her lunch, it's not a hassle because she likes.
She picked the fruit.
Yeah, her green apples, bananas, so forth, strawberries, cherries.
I had a mother that used to take her daughter shopping and help her to read the labels. Says, would you tell me how much salt is in this? Would you tell me how much sugar is? What is because she knew what she was doing. I didn't realize that the first ingredient of this product is sugar.
So important.
And that whatever is listed first is what they have most. And sometimes it seems to be salt and sugar and stuff that that isn't necessarily good for your nutrition. I am in agreement with you about making sure you supplement, making sure you balance out. And when we get in later on, when we talk about helping people to get healthier, we will talk more about good nutrition. But right now, I'd kind of like to go the other direction. That's why are people getting sick? And I know we talk about our children and childhood diseases. I haven't really asked you about this, but what is your viewpoint of encouraging the body to have a strong immune system or vaccinating the body? It's one of the big issues now. It
is. Well, you know what? Valeria, she's had all her shots, but now, the more that I've been a part of this, project that I'm in, I realize how important it really is just to have that strong immune system, giving it what it needs to be able to do its job, which is defend us and keep illness away, it's so key.
Because I know my mother made sure that I got my shots, but as we grew older and as we learned about natural health and we learned that being healthy is a state of optimum performance of the body and optimum function of the body, that my sister did not allow her children to be vaccinated. And I've often said that if I had children, which I do not, I would not want them to be vaccinated. Because of, I believe, and what evidence and more evidence is showing, the damage that is caused by that. But
is greater.
It doesn't mean I'm not going to be interested in them being healthier. It doesn't mean I'm neglecting them, because that's one of the big, if you don't give your child this immunization, you're a bad parent.
Yes.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about how to be a good parent naturally.
Add some crazy flavor to your vape pen. You're looking for something new and exciting in liquid vapor? Go to Crazy Cloud's e-Juice. Find them at burstoflavor.com and try any of the new 12 flavors they have available: blueberry, mint, raspberry, chocolate, gummy bear, hemp, watermelon, cola, orange, pina colada, coconut, or Red Bully. Call us today at 855-WE-BURST or visit us at burstoflavor.com and order yours today.
What's wrong?
I can't stop craving a cigarette. I just quit. Hey, what are you smoking on?
Oh, this? Best e-juice on the planet. Burst of flavor, of course.
What's that?
Only the best alternative to smoking with a great flavor. It has a burst of flavor in every puff.
Well, does it have nicotine?
It comes in different levels, including 0. They have 20 flavors and more coming. All the products are made in the U.S. Check them out at www.burstoflavor.com or call them at 855-WE-BURST.
Hey, let's burst together.
It's not just flavor, it's an experience. Cigarettes, you've met your match.
Are you watching the game at home? Why? Come watch it at Mambo Grill, the hottest spot in Downey. You'll have good food, drinks, and a great time at a low price. We have the coldest beer in our sports bar, where you can enjoy the game on any of our huge flat screen TVs. And when your home team wins, you get 25% off anything in Mambo Grill. We're on Downey Avenue, 1 block north of Firestone, or visit us on the web. Mambo Grill, love at first bite.
Hey, bro, this is a good game. You know what would make it better?
What, bro?
A michelada.
A michelada? What's a michelada?
A michelada is somewhere in the middle of a Mexican Bloody Mary and a Mexican margarita.
Oh, I got you covered, bro.
You got a cup in your pocket?
No, sir. I got my pocket-sized michelada. Mucho macho michelada.
Pocket size?
Pocket size, so you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Where'd you get that at?
At the nearest convenience store, and you can also buy it at muchomachomichelada.com.
You know what will make it better? After we get drunk, if they had a line we could call.
We can call their drunk line. You can leave a message and then log on to the site and listen to your stupidity afterwards.
What's that number?
It's 855-MICHE-69.
What's that number again?
855-MICHE-69.
Awesome. Mucho macho michelada.
We're back. This is Solutions for Life, and we're talking about your health is your responsibility with Heidi Diaz, wellness consultant. And if you would like to know more, if you don't want to listen to me, she's much more enjoyable to listen to. If they would like to know more about how to improve their health naturally and everything else, let's give them a chance to either get a pen out and a pencil out there. How can they reach you? What number can they reach you at?
My phone number is area code 310-462-7782.
Again?
310-462-7782.
And if you can't remember that and you're just now getting out your pencil, you can always call the Share Foundation at area code 562-776-1727. That's area code 562-776-1727. Now you know how to get a hold of Heidi, or how you can get a hold of me. Either one of us will tell you how to be healthier naturally. And we were just talking about vaccinations and immunizations, how in our youth and everything else, this was absolute necessity. But there's a lot of controversy about that now, and
nowadays,
parents are saying, wait a minute, do I really want these things put into my natural, lovely, beautiful newborn baby? And they're saying no.
You know, we just live in times where everything is at the palm of our hands. It's a matter of just getting online and doing our research, investigating, and when we realize what we're actually, putting into our child's body, we're like, hey, wait a minute, time out,
Yeah, I have a tendency of looking for a dictionary still. I'm sorry. A phone book. They don't exist anymore.
Whatever works.
You're right.
Whatever works, yes.
Any question you have, Google it. Go online, Bing it, or whatever it is that will help you to search it. But you can find out a lot more information that discusses both sides of an issue, and it's up to you to make your choice.
Cons, yeah, definitely. But you're going to be making an educated choice, and that's where a lot of parents nowadays are opting for not going for the immunizations.
Before we started this segment and everything else, we had a picture up on the screen that it showed a woman on the computer, and it showed a woman reading a health book. There are books that are still out there. They haven't been all banned or all burnt yet or thrown away yet because of the computer, but they're getting fewer and fewer. But like you said, get on the computer, learn about it. That information is out there. You've got to educate yourself, because what is our subject today?
Soluciones para la vida.
Yes.
Solutions for life.
Solutions for life, but also
Health
that you are responsibility. Yes. We've got to make sure that you are educated, because we want you to be healthier. And the issue of vaccinations and strong immunity, so what do you do? Now what is your attitude about that?
Now my attitude is definitely, if I were to have another child, I would not do it.
But what would you do? You don't want to be a bad parent.
No, of course I'm not a bad parent. But there's natural supplements out there that we can give our children that can, boost and strengthen and keep them healthy, boost that immune system, without the need of these, chemicals and just all these drugs, being injected in them.
I hear there's an element out there, I've mentioned it before, that comes from mother's milk that is essential in building natural immunity. And that is?
Transfer factors, everyone.
Transfer factor. Look it up.
Yes.
Google it. Look about it, because this is an amazing, I repeat, amazing thing that everybody who wants to maintain or improve their immune system should be taking. I normally don't rant and rave about too many things, other than maybe a good piece of chocolate cream pie, but this is even better than that. And this is something that increases immune activity higher than anything you could imagine.
There's no other product in the market now that can boost the immune activity by the percentages that transfer factors do, which is up to 437%. I mean, that is amazing.
Well, if you want to know more about this, you have the phone numbers. Be sure and call us, and we will read again later on. That's kind of covering our vaccination and immunity aspect. But there are other things that we have to be concerned about, with our children about, and that's traumas and accidents and injuries. And a lot of kids don't, they get hurt and we don't realize it.
Yes.
Has your daughter had a bicycle that she's fallen off of, or
yes,
has she gone to the neighbors and got on a trampoline and fell off of, or go to the amusement park or something like this?
Yeah,
there's all sorts of it. But one of the worst things for kids, unfortunately, folks, is bad nutrition. It is so very, very important. What was the old saying? You are what you eat.
Yes. And when you mention malnutrition, do you think of children in like third world countries that really don't have much to eat? Not realizing that your child at home, maybe, malnutrition because they're not getting, what they need, on a daily
but they're getting
basis.
a lot of salt. They're getting a lot of sugar. Was it someone said, it says the value of some of those products is probably less than what the cardboard box that holds it.
That is horrible.
Isn't that a horrible thought?
I believe it.
Come on, folks. Get that fresh fruit. Get the fresh vegetables. And I'm not saying that even those are as good as they used to be, but it's better than going in and getting something that's been rolled out and processed and fumigated and what God only knows what else.
Yes. And you know what? That not so healthy option can be a treat because, kids love their sugar intake,
Oh, yeah.
But make it a treat, but not a daily thing.
There's sugar in an apple. There's sugar in a
natural
pear. Sugar in a banana. There's sugar in oranges. Natural foods. What is the sign that we see in so many teenagers of bad nutrition?
The breakouts.
Yes. There's a mama talking.
Breakouts.
She knows.
And it's we don't give them the importance that they deserve, but I mean it could actually have a very negative effect in a teenager's middle school years, high school years. You know?
But that's just normal, isn't it?
It's so sad.
No. Yes, there is a transition, folks, of the condition of your children and as they grow. But acne is a disease in many ways caused by bad nutrition.
All comes down to making the right choices. It's all our responsibility.
Yeah, and understand the habits your children develop under your guidance is usually what's going to lead them into their adulthood, isn't it?
Yes, it stays with them, and it's what they're going to show their children, and so forth. It's like a chain reaction, We need to break that. We need to break those bad habits, and start, setting the example.
I have repeated many, many times something in lectures and everything else about how what you do speaks so loudly they don't hear what you say.
That's right.
So, folks, you can't be smoking and expecting your children not to smoke. You can't be 100 pounds overweight and expect your kids to be thin. You can't eat garbage and expect your children to eat nutrition. You are responsible for your kids.
Yes. It's all a duplication process. What they see you do, they will copy.
I was on a recent trip, and I was at the airport, and I wanted something that I probably shouldn't have had. And I went over to the counter, and here was this way overweight mother with 3 way overweight kids ordering, all these sweets with not only sweets, you were watching them, here was it was ice cream, but then it had on top of it candy and other stuff. And I'm saying, lady, do you realize what you're doing? What you're doing to your kids? You know, we talk about child abuse, and I don't want to get on parents' case too hard. But do you realize what you're doing to your children? Do you realize that the obesity that you are creating in your children leads to what?
Oh my gosh. Either very chronic illnesses that can lead them even to death, you know?
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Let alone the bullying and the abuse of school.
Yes.
That comes about from being an outcast because you're fatty. You know, this stuff.
You know, not too long ago, there was a girl, because of the bullying, she took her life, you know? So, yes, and just the long-term impact that goes with child obesity when not taken care of. I mean, nowadays, diabetes in children is at its all-time highest rates, you know, and that can kill.
You're young folks, please love your children, but love them to the point of good, not killing them. Yes. Some of the other things that, like I say, we're developing bad habits, but with teenagers, you also have the greater interest in sports, and with sports comes traumas. Folks, you know, I played football, but I would prefer you didn't let your kids play football. I don't believe in contact sports that hurt your kids, but all sports have some aspect of contact.
Some risk.
Yeah, so there is always some risk, but there's some of them I think I'm less less do I believe in them. I think that hurts our kids too much. But also watch your kids from the attitude of steroids.
Oh, yes.
Nutrition is vital in sporting activities. Your kids are going to be growing up. You're going to see these willowy little kids of yours all of a sudden become young adults with muscles and speed and sometimes intelligence, not always, but we always hope. Usually that comes about, I think, about 20 years later. But making sure these kids get the nutrition they need. They need the protein to build those muscles. There is a difference in feeding a teenager that's in sports than feeding a teenager who's sitting on the computer.
Yes. And when we teach them the importance of, you know, eating properly, that takes away their desire or their curiosity for trying steroids, like you just mentioned, you know?
Exactly.
Like looking for that cut, you know, that easy way out because they want to bulk up, you know?
Yeah, folks,
that natural protein.
Make sure that they are not being influenced by people that would push those agendas. Then the kids go to college. They're out of the house. They're on their own. And it's party time. Oh, darn. I remember that.
Lots of alcohol, you know.
And they're
hardly any
underage.
sleep, and they're underage. And
they're not getting the rest they need. And they're cramming for those exams.
And
if they haven't discovered it in high school, which you would hope not, they're having relationships with each other. That it is a nightmare for every mother and father.
The one thing we dread, that three-letter
Yes, that
word
three-letter
that we
word.
dread so much.
And also the potential of drugs. Their use. All these are, you know, increased when your kids are no longer in those guidelines that you have at home, where you can watch them and check them each and every day and love them each and with a hug. Now they're on their own, and God willing, if you give them the right information, they're going to have a healthier college life. And we will talk about college life and adulthood when we come back with Heidi Diaz, wellness consultant.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra-modern, ultra-clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
ProTech Carpet Tile and Care provides professional cleaning services for carpet, tile, grout, upholstery, and fine area rugs.
ProTech technicians are professionally trained and certified cleaning and restoration experts.
We specialize in restoring damage caused by heavy soil and odor.
We can remove challenging spots such as coffee, tea, ink, gum, wine, and many more.
We have saved our customers thousands of dollars on new flooring and furniture expenses with our advanced cleaning processes.
Call for a free estimate at 562-447-4300 and visit us on our website, www.myprotechsite.com.
Hey, this is Joe Perez, owner at ProTech. Just reminding you that ProTech Carpet and Tile Care is your professional choice.
Number one. Number one.
Is that a stutter or as high as you can count?
I was ordering number one tequila.
Everybody's asking for number one.
Great, another fancy bottle.
These guys are true artists. Never compromise integrity. They make tequila
Come
in the
on.
fashion. Never mass produced.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying have the number one. Anything less is number two. Number one! Number one, tequila.
We are the Three Guys Rant with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69 3 Guys. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
And we're hoping that you get it too, that we are giving you information on solutions for life that will allow you to have a healthier existence. With me again is Heidi Diaz, wellness consultant. I'm so glad you spent this time with us, and I hope you'll come back many, many more times.
Of course I will. I'm just so thankful that you invite me. I always have a great time.
It's always enjoyable. We were talking about our kids in college and all the challenges that they have, and we're going to kind of skip through a little bit faster now. We talk about young adults, the stress of life, and how many times we start losing our way. Once we're out of, if we didn't lose it in college, we lose it when all of a sudden we're having to work and we just got married and there's new kids and we have all these bills and all these expenses and the stress starts building up. But yet you can help people like that too, can't you?
Yes, definitely. It's so funny because I was with a girlfriend yesterday, and over lunch we were talking about how people, I think nowadays, they're putting a lot more attention to stress than years before. But do you realize that stress, and it might be sounding too drastic here today, but stress can kill.
Stress is a killer.
It weakens the immune system, and it gives way for other illnesses to come in. And so it comes down to, being able to have that mental control and make that time to relax, breathe, and take it easy.
I know you mentioned you come from your family comes from Colombia, that
yes.
you place yourself in this Latina community of women from the Latin community and everything else, but yet this is not Latin. This is not Black. This is not Asian. This is this is
universal.
This is universal. This is everybody.
Yeah.
But something that I wanted to mentioned at this point was the fact that you're trying to help a lot of these people, not only by being healthier and helping them with their children and helping them with wellness as far as physical health, and so they hopefully they can live a long, healthy life, but also help take off some of the financial stress by working with you.
Yes, definitely. It's there's nothing more amazing than educating others on the importance of taking care of their health, and through this and through sharing, generating a supplemental income. It can start as supplemental, and then it'll get to the point where it'll be time to make decisions like myself. This is a life project.
So, this wasn't a career you chose?
No, not at all. And I never would have.
So you were busy working. What were you doing?
I was part of the corporate America system.
Corporate.
I was a corporate sales manager for the hospitality industry, and I have to say, I loved what I did. I enjoyed it very much.
Stressful, wasn't it?
Stressful. I enjoyed it, but it was very stressful. Very demanding.
And yet you were losing something out of
I was losing. I was missing out on those amazing moments with my daughter. My daughter is 13. I'm a single mom, and I was too busy being the provider, being mom and dad, and generating that money, and being able to provide for her. And meantime, my mom was doing my job. She was being the mom. She was raising her, and I was missing out.
So it wasn't grandma. It was grandma, mama.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
You're the one just earning the money.
Just earning the money, and that's not life. That's not what life is about. We have to enjoy our time with our children. And I ended up in this amazing, with this amazing opportunity because of a medical error with my grandmother. That's what led me to wanting to research and learn more. And I'm a part of an amazing project. And here I am today. I make a living, and I'm enjoying it and helping others from just educating them.
We're talking about young adults out there who are under stress. I hope you have that phone number. Please give it to us again.
Yes, it's 310-462-7782.
Again, please.
310-462-7782.
And you can speak to Heidi, and she can tell you how your life can be made maybe a little bit less stressful.
Yes, definitely.
Because people don't realize that as an adult, you're paying the price for all those earlier accidents we've had in our life, and then you're paying the price for all that poor nutrition that you may have grown up on, and you're paying the price for all those bad lifestyle decisions. If you smoked, if you took drugs, if you whatever it is you did in your earlier life, you may be paying the price for it now. And one of the things I know about adults is that generally they like to turn back the clock. It doesn't necessarily work that easy, but there is ways through better nutrition that you can. They talk about a lot of anti-aging things that you can do, isn't there?
Yes, there's many. And again, through natural supplements that are high antioxidants, you can, reverse the hands of time to an extent.
Get that pencil out. You want to know more about this, that's for sure.
There's a great need out there, Dr. Coy. There's need out there in many aspects of health, and to know that you can help so many and be compensated for it, that's priceless.
I know with the company that you're part of and everything else that they have some remarkable products for skincare also. And you showed me your mother's picture, which I hope she's not listening because, yes, I saw your picture and I saw those wrinkles, but I also saw how much better the wrinkles were.
Yes.
But as a doctor, very truthfully, I don't really care that much whether you have wrinkles on your face or where there's wrinkles on your body. As long as it's not inside your body. And when I talk about wrinkles inside your body, is that heart that's not doing as good, or those lungs that are not doing as good, or the kidneys, or whatever it might be.
Liver, yeah.
Those internal wrinkles that can cause your body not to function. We all are not going to get off this earth in one piece. The seniors, and since I'm in that category of being a seniors, there's an old saying, if I had known that I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself.
Yes,
Folks, here's a chance. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 8 or 80, 15 or 150 type thing. It is never too late. Now, you mentioned your grandmother.
Never too late or too young.
Yes. You mentioned your grandmother, and we don't have a lot of time, but I would like to have you tell that story because I'd heard it before, and I I want our listeners to hear it.
Yes, so my grandmother, without being a diabetic, she lost her leg. It was amputated. I remember going with her to the doctor where she was telling him, my foot hurts. It's always cold for whatever reason. It just doesn't warm up. There's no body heat. And he told her, you're old. Old people get cold and they have arthritis.
Tell me about it.
And, it was just awful. And we took her to, a few doctors, and the response, was not very different. When they finally did pay attention to her, it was too late because she had developed gangrene. And so...
in spite of going to the doctors repeatedly.
Yes, exactly, yes.
From a condition that could have been prevented probably in...
Could have been prevented, yes, if they would have paid attention not just stereotyped because of her age. She lost her leg. The gangrene, somehow spread to the left. She lost her toes. And, the end result to the right leg was that she underwent 5 surgeries so that the end result was losing that entire leg.
Oh, my goodness.
Same thing was going to happen with the left. But we just got, lucky. My uncle from Florida called us and said, hey, I've heard great things about these transfer factors. You guys should read up on it, do research, and give them to Mom.
Google that information.
Definitely.
It's transfer, Transfer, correct?
Correct.
I don't spell too good. Factor, Factor, transfer factor.
And you know what? It's been life-changing. This is why I'm here today. We gave grandmother those products, and within 2 weeks from the scheduled surgery, the doctor canceled surgery. He asked us, what did you give her? We told him, it's the only natural supplement out there that can be prescribable.
It's even in his PDR, isn't it?
Yes, it's in the PDR. So when he, in front of us, he looked it up. He's like, wow, amazing. This is immune boosting. Congratulations. It's been 4 years. Grandmother is still with us. Mind you, the doctor had told us.
With at least one leg.
He told us, hey, take care of the funeral arrangements because I don't know that she's going to make it. She's already undergone too many surgeries. And so we took care of all of that. And to know that she's with us today, 4 years later, that just goes to show you that doctors are not perfect. They're human beings just like you and I. They make mistakes too. However,
and they have limited knowledge.
Yes.
Doctors don't know everything. And doctors have not been educated in nutrition.
And we trust them so much, unfortunately,
They are drug doctors.
Yes.
MD, medical doctor.
Yes.
They know drugs.
Yes. So, folks out there, again, there are natural supplements out there that are helping many, and it's just a matter of doing your research, investigating, and making the right choices. It's all a matter of just making a decision.
So when your grandmother was saved, it's kind of like it was an eye-opener for you and an opportunity for you to become the wellness consultant you are and to help people, whether they be young, whether they be old.
You're never too young, never too old. Everyone can benefit from, prevention.
Yeah. People want to know what can we do to help change things? Remember, we're looking for solutions. And just as Heidi's pointed out, how it's affected her life and made her life better and made her life wealthier and more relaxing and spending time with her daughter, that would you like to do that? If so, be sure and call her. And they can get a hold of you where?
310-462-7782.
And if you don't call her, you're missing out on a great opportunity. Because, if we want to change things, we need to share these health tips with those you love. This is what you've done. You're sharing it with other people. You need to tell them about these supplements that work and then can help that the doctor doesn't know about.
It's our responsibility to share about things that work.
I was talking to someone about transfer factor. And he was talking about the amazement of how this had helped him in his life. And he was at Kaiser Permanente telling the doctor that he wanted him to write a prescription for this because the doctor said, oh, you're just going to have to live with this condition. And he went back. He went home. He took his transfer factor. He got better. He went back to see the doctor. The doctor was amazed at how much better he was because this was a condition he was going to have to live with. And he told the doctor, because the doctor just wanted to give him a prescription for what? Pain medication.
Yes.
And he said, I would want you to write a prescription for this. You know what he said? The doctor told him? He said, I can't do it. I'd be fired from Kaiser Permanente.
That is awful.
Isn't that terrible? So don't expect to have support from your medical doctor, especially if it's an HMO, because they will not give it to you. You've got to get those, you love to be more active like you are. We are all responsible for our health. And I'm so glad you've joined us today and you've shared with us that your story and what you've been doing for other people and how you're helping other people, how your grandmother was helped. And I'm hoping that more people will love more, worry less, and live each day to its fullest. Thank you, Heidi, for being with us.
Thank you,
for
Dr.
Solutions for Life.
Para la vida.